Hey everybody, a question I'm frequently asked is when the Hebrew Bible begins to be historical. In other words, when we begin to find historical evidence that corroborates the narrative that we find in the Hebrew Bible. And the threshold of this is generally identified in the mid to late 9th century BCE. And there are three inscriptions that we find in this period. The Tel Dan inscription, which was probably executed by an Aramaean king named Hazael. The Mesha inscription, which was executed by the Moabite king Mesha. And the black obelisk of Shalmaneser III, which comes from Mesopotamia. And these inscriptions mention Israelite and even Judahite kings. And the Tel Dan inscription even talks about the house of David as a dynasty. So from about 850 on, the Hebrew Bible is in its rough narrative outline, corroborated by other historical data, and we may be able to go back to King David and say there probably was a King David as well, although the tradition has been significantly altered. For instance, the killing of Goliath, most scholars agree, was probably originally attributed to a man named Elchanan, and then later the authors of the King David tradition appropriated that story and significantly expanded it. So middle of the 9th century is the threshold for that. We may be able to go a little bit earlier to around the time of David, but prior to that, the stories are legendary or they're complete fiction, or if they do refer to historical individuals, they have been significantly altered to the degree that we can't really reconstruct what that historical person may have actually been like.